The Oukitel U20 Plus is the first low-cost phablet with a dual camera. It's priced at around $100. We put the phone to the test for a couple of weeks. I am Christopher for ChinaMobileMag. Enjoy this review. Surprise! The Oukitel U20 Plus is the first Oukitel phone we test that doesn't come in the typical orange box. The accessories you get with it are a user manual, warranty card, a SIM tool, a silicone bumper, and of course a micro USB cable and a power supply with localized plug. The Oukitel U20 Plus does remind us a little about the Ulefone Vienna, since the unibody polycarbonate body does look quite similar. The phone feels nice in the hands thanks to its curved edges. The build quality could be a little better. You clearly see some cast seams around the body and the phone can be bent without much force. The SIM tray on the right side is made from metal and takes either one micro and nano SIM card or one micro SIM and micro SD card. The slot isn't quite even with the phone's body. The hardware buttons are all on the left side and sit in place tightly. The USB port, speaker and voice microphone are situated on the lower side. On the top there is a 3.5mm headphone jack. The front is covered by 2.5D glass, which means it has slightly curved edges. A thin plastic frame is put around it for protection. Below the screen there are the usual 3 touch keys but without backlight. Above the screen we find the earpiece, a front camera, sensors and a status LED which does only light up in green on our unit. Despite the low price tag, the Oukitel U20 Plus packs a Full HD screen by Sharp with 5.5 inches. That choice pays off since the panel delivers quite a good quality with decent sharpness and contrast. The viewing angles are also pretty good. Brightness is okay and high enough for decent outdoor readability. The lowest screen brightness could be a bit lower though for better night reading experience. The touch panel is surprisingly good. It does support 5 touch points and the input lag is only minimal, which makes it easy to type fast. The screen glass so far has been totally scratch resistant but lacks an oleophobic coating. The Oukitel U20 Plus is the first phone we test that comes with a MT6737T SoC. This MT6737 variant clocks its 4-ARM Cortex A53 cores at 1.5 instead of 1.3 GHz and also offers a Mali T720 MP2 GPU which is clocked at 600 MHz. The chipset does offer a decent performance for such a cheap phone, which is totally enough for basic use and a bit of multitasking. Every once in a while there might be some stutter, but nothing dramatic. Power users probably won't be happy with the processor though. Also, if you like to play demanding games, the Oukitel U20 Plus isn't for you. Older games like Dead Trigger 2 run well on medium graphics settings and Need for Speed No Limits runs fine as well, but any more demanding games will lag quite heavily. The 2GB LPDDR3 RAM are enough to run 5 to 7 apps in the background, so the RAM management does work well here. The 16GB internal memory can be expanded using microSD cards. We did test it using a 128GB card, which was working well. The card can also be used as internal memory to have more space for applications. Sadly, the Oukitel U20 Plus lacks quite some sensors. There is no gyroscope or compass, which really is a pity. The fingerprint scanner on the rear works quite well and only fails in around 2 out of 10 attempts. The sensor also is quite fast, however, the software takes quite long turning the screen on, which means that unlocking still is rather slow. The Oukitel U20 Plus runs Android 6.0 Marshmallow, which except for the launcher comes without any customizations. Oukitel extended the features though and includes MediaTek Hot Nod, off-screen gestures, flip actions, and a sensor for gesture control which doesn't work really well. OTA updates are supported and we got one update after booting the phone for the first time. We have found 2 bugs inside the software during our tests. One is that sometimes the touch buttons don't work for a couple of seconds, and the second bug is that the picture of the screen is pushed upwards from time to time. This means that a few lines of pixels on the top disappear and on the lower side of the screen there is some distortion across a couple line of pixels. It looks like this is some bug inside the screen driver, which hopefully will be fixed soon. Reception quality on the Oukitel U20 Plus hasn't been quite satisfying. Band 20 LTE is supported, but the signal strength is too low. Especially in areas with weak signal, this quickly becomes a problem, and also inside trains the phone often does lose signal. The same thing happens with the Wi-Fi. 1 floor below the router we already experienced signal losses and the bandwidth drops from around 80 Mbit per second to 25 Mbit or even less. The GPS doesn't work well too. It often takes a very long time to get a fix, and while tracking with Google Fit, the waypoint often jumped around, rendering the tracking useless. The Oukitel U20 Plus packs a mono speaker down in its frame, which for the price asked sounds very decent.
Lights out, lying in your arms.
The headphone jack delivers a clear audio signal with a good volume. Telephony quality is only mediocre, it sounds a bit dull and there is no noise cancelling. The dual camera of the Oukitel U20 Plus is based on a 13MP Sony IMX135 sensor and a 0.3MP Galaxy Core GZ030A sensor. This setup, however, is more of a toy than a useful tool for stunning photos. It just is impossible to reliably get good results when using the SLR aka dual cam mode. Just every once in a while there are some random shots which actually do look good. What we notice is that in dual camera mode the preview shows a heavy lag, which makes it even harder to take proper shots. Seems like the ISP just is too weak for two camera sensors. Without SLR mode the Sony camera does decent shots, but only with bright sunlight. As soon as the lighting conditions get bad, the shots start to look grainy and blurry. The video quality is okay and an option for EIS is there, but since a gyroscope it does not work. The front camera isn't good at all, the pictures show lots of noise and are unsharp. The Oukitel U20 Plus packs a 3300 mAh battery. During daily use of the phone, the consumption was at an average of 15.7% per hour. In standby, the phone uses 1.8% per hour. The average screen on time reached was 6 hours and 22 minutes. That's easily enough for one day, and with further optimizations, battery life surely can be extended. Charging from 20 to 100% takes 3 hours since there is no fast charging. Sadly, Oukitel again forces users to use the original power supply and cable. As soon as you swap out the power supply or USB cable, charging takes 6 to 7 hours. Verdict: the Oukitel U20 Plus basically is a solid entry-level phone which offers a lot for the money. Anyway, we believe that Oukitel should have rather left out the dual cam and invest the saved money into proper antennas and fast charging. The dual camera is just a toy and basically useless. So bottom line is that we can only give a very limited recommendation for this phone. So that's all for this review. I am Christopher for CMM. See you in the next one.